Right, good morning everyone. Okay, I guess what I heard is it's like some people here haven't had that breakfast yet. Good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Right, so today we're gonna have a short chat about big data with MySQL. Before that, let me introduce myself. I'm basically a consultant, MySQL consultant for ASEAN. That means for Southeast Asia. Right. So everyone here know about big data, the term big data, right? Right. And one burning question: anyone here has been using MySQL? Wow. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Right. So I can go harder. Right. Right. So you know what? Why did I forget to put this in? Right. So now at this moment, Ericsson, you know Ericsson, this the network solution provider. They actually did a study, and according to them, at this moment we have 3 billion connected devices all over the world. Now, what Ericsson estimated is that on the 2020, which is about 4 years from now, it will be 50 billion connected devices. What that means to say is that at this moment, it's still IoT is very at infancy stage. So later on, it will go much bigger at a faster rate. Another independent organization, Gartner, as well, has actually made a research. They said IoT will actually make a economic value at around $2 trillion US, 2 trillion by 2020. So you guys right now, right here is at the right stage to go into IoT and make it big. Okay. Right now, when we talk about big data, what is it that we want to? What is actually big data? You see, big data is a bunch of unstructured and structured data put together, and we can do analytics and everything. Now, let's say it's all have this characteristic, volume. Let's say volume. One single jet engine for 30 minutes, it can generate 10 terabytes of data. 10 terabytes, only 30 minutes. Imagine if you have one plane, you have at least 2 engines, isn't it? And then you have hundreds of planes, few hundred of planes. How many data that you need to collect? How many data that you need to deal with, right? So variety, you have a lot of connected devices, mobile phone, sensors, any other things. That all this actually give you a different kind of data, clickstream intelligence, and user profile, everything. Velocity, Twitter is very simple. Twitter, at this 3 years back, actually they shared something like in a second they have 150,000 tweets. 150,000 tweets per second. So this is velocity, speed. They need speed. So in big data, we talk about speed. Now, all these are data, big data which is big size and all unstructured. But how to make it so that this data is useful? We have to make it useful to be able to create value, isn't it? Right? To the business people, to the business. So right now the big data is enabled. We are able to do that because we have digitization. every connected device has digital heartbeat. So we can collect any kind of data from there. Ability to store much larger data volume with HDFS. Process much larger data volume with parallel processing. So big data enable what if analysis in here. Big data adoption. So big data, we can use a lot of big data for this purpose. Web recommendations, sentiment analysis. Have you guys ever did your shopping on Amazon? Anyone here has never bought anything from Amazon? I don't think so. Okay, that's one. Lazada maybe. All right. So in Amazon, if you notice, whenever you buy something, whenever you access a product page, right? And then after that, next time you come in again, it will actually show you some similar products. There's a bar underneath, show you similar products. So Amazon has been doing big data for a long time. Right, that is web recommendations. All this stuff that you can do with the big data. So this is just now what I mentioned to you, Amazon. So some users browse the Amazon website, and then in the MySQL, let's say in the MySQL, they keep the user profile and transaction data, right? So, and then what happened is that everything, the social media, you see like the Twitter, Facebook, and everything. All this data, web blogs, and then data from some mobile application. All these are mostly unstructured. It's not something that you store in the database. So you feed that into the Hadoop. MySQL also, we feed MySQL data into the Hadoop, which is HDFS file system. So from here, then this will do analytics. We'll analyze it with a lot of things like, Pig with Mahout, or what else? The Hive. So after that, it will give a recommendation back to MySQL. Say, okay, this is the product that we have to recommend to our customers. And then Amazon app will actually query MySQL and then show the recommendations on the website. Right. Why Hadoop? Because Hadoop is currently the forefront of the technology in big data. It can manage petabytes of structured and unstructured data. It can run on commodity servers. What does it mean? It actually, with a very low cost, because you only need commodity servers. You don't even need a branded server. You can actually build your server yourself, like what Facebook, Google, and Dropbox did. So then you can run this. MapReduce for the analytics. Right. So in big data analytics, we have all these 4 stages. First is acquire, organize, analyze, and decide. So during acquire, this is where actually the data is being fed into MySQL. MySQL, so as you can see here, MySQL is at the door, at the entrance and at the exit. You see? So all the data come from, all data that can be stored in the database will be stored in MySQL, and all the unstructured data coming from the other sources, right? And then on the organized side, it will be put together, mixed together between unstructured and structured, right? Within the Hadoop file system, analyze it with a number of technology like what I mentioned. And then when it comes to decide, from Hadoop, we feed it to MySQL back again, the data. So it's easy for the all reporting or analytics software to read because this analytic and reporting is using SQL, right? Like Jaspersoft, Talent, Pentaho, and all this stuff. Okay. Right. So from the acquire, we normally the common thing is we use MySQL database standalone, but in case of if this is a production or a very important, you can't really afford to lose any data, right? So we used MySQL cluster, which is provided you with the very high availability with JSON support as well, NoSQL interface. For those of you that not know about this, that MySQL support NoSQL. We support the NoSQL is in the form of Memcache plugin and MySQL Fabric. I'll talk about this a little bit later. Right. So this is the latest benchmark on our 5.7. Traditionally, all MySQL for every major version always have a big performance jump. So in this case, as you can see here, this is 5.5, 5.6, 5.7. So it has a big jump from 5.6 to 5.7. Now it's 1.6 million QPS for point select. MySQL 5.7 now is considered hybrid. Hybrid means that we also support NoSQL. On the other hand, we also support SQL. So NoSQL in the form of Memcache and SQL if you need more complex queries. Because NoSQL, you can't really do a very complex queries, right? So NoSQL interface in MySQL, we use it because it's blazing fast, because it's using key value, fully transactional, ACID, and NoSQL and SQL give you flexibility to use whichever fit your needs. Right, cluster. Now, cluster is our top-notch product, which provides you with very high availability and very high scalability. Okay, but in this case, I'm just going to talk about NoSQL interface. We actually support a lot of interface here in the cluster. Node.js, Memcache, JVA, REST, C++. The native interface for cluster is C++, NDB API. This is our latest benchmark on cluster, 200 million NoSQL reads per second for 32 data nodes. 2.5 million SQL statement per second for 16, right? Yeah, data nodes. Those are cluster. Now, coming down to Fabric. Fabric is providing a little bit of high availability as well as capability of sharding. Sharding, you guys know sharding, right? It's like partitioning, but it's on the instance level. It's not on the table level. So what it does is that if you have, let's say you have 100 million records in a table, do you think it will be slow to query? Right? Naturally, it will be slow. Why? Because your index size is big, and you have to traverse a lot of big index size every time a connection comes in, and all the connection is actually trying to connect and access the same table. So what this do is that let's say we split this 100 million records to 5 instances. 5 instances mean each and every one of them have only 20 million. Because it is 20 million, the index size is smaller, and then the number of connections connecting to each of the table is actually lesser. So you can maintain performance like that. This is our MySQL Fabric, and with this, it allows you to do automatic failover application. So you don't need to worry about failover manually for your application at all. Big data. Okay, life cycle. Now next is organized. Now from MySQL, when you now starting to feed the data to HDFS, the Hadoop file system, normally we use Apache Scoop. Apache Scoop is a batch job feeding the data from MySQL to Hadoop. This is Apache Scoop. Not going to talk about that much. Now we have another alternative. Apache Scoop is work on a batch job. Means that batch means that you schedule it, right? So every time, let's say like 5 a.m. it will run every 5 a.m. in the morning, let's say. But this one allows you able to do a real-time feeding from MySQL to Hadoop. Why you need this? Because at this moment, you know, everyone you see at this moment, the modern world like this, actually our patience getting a little bit lesser and lesser. True or not? You demand instant result, correct? So every time you search Google, also when you see when you see it doesn't give you any result, you feel what the heck, right? So everyone want a very fast result, speed of thought, analytics. So this is why this tool is going to be very, very useful. However, at this moment we still labs. That means we are still in beta release, alpha. Right. Okay. So it's not ready for production yet, but you guys feel free to play with it. We have it in mysql.com. You can just download it and play with it. Okay, this is how we do it. We fetch real-time data into the bin log. Bin log, we use bin log for replication. This is actually the way to do our replication is always you have to activate bin log, because this is how we transfer the data from master to slave. So the Hadoop applier will actually take that data from the bin log, change it, and then feed it to the change it in a way that it can be accepted by HDFS, the Hadoop file system. So in a way, it is like integrate. How should I say? What is the data? Yeah, it sums it up. Because on the way, it will do a change of data and put it into Hadoop.
ETL.
ETL, correct. Yes, that's the term. Yes. Thank you. Okay, now the next step is to analyze. Now, to analyze, you can use a number of tools like Hive, Pick, Mahout, a number of this stuff. This is all this. The top one is actually Apache projects, so you can start and play with it if you like. Reporting database, after it goes into MySQL, which is the decide stage and the last stage, you can actually query it with and use Pentaho or all this stuff. This is all the BI and BI analytics reporting software. Right. So in summary, with MySQL, you can create value for your big data. In fact, MySQL actually used in 80% of Hadoop implementation across the world. So you really want to take a look at integrating MySQL with Hadoop. Okay, schema manage. We support SQL, NoSQL, flexibility, scale out and data sharding with MySQL Fabric if you need. Like I mentioned, if you have millions of records, you might want to consider Fabric. And we have expertise and tools to support you. This is my last slide. So, any question? Any question? No? Yes? Or if you think of a question later on, do drop by our exhibit in the annex. We have an exhibit there. And I actually recommend you to drop by because we have a number of freebies. One of them, which is very unique, is our logo. You know our logo, right? It's dolphin, right? We have this dolphin plushies, plush toy. So you want to drop by and get one of them, right? And if you haven't noticed yet, we actually have developers, the people who built MySQL here in this room. These two guys here are developers, and just now the one who gave you presentation in the morning, also developers of MySQL. So if you have any questions, come to our exhibits and we can have a little chat, casual chat, anytime. Right, thank you very much.